Our 5th weekend away was at Lake St. Peter Provincial Park. This was another small park that was a peaceful and quiet place to practice our new routine of resting and exploring in nature. We arrived with enough time to set up our site and take a quick walk around the park in the dark. By now, we had begun to find a groove, and setup was becoming easier each time. Our challenge we faced this weekend was the weather. Up to this point, we had been lucky and had beautiful weather with no rain. That was a bit to change. For the majority of the day, it was an on and off, again, light mist, which was totally tolerable. I have to say, though, I am glad I had Beau with me, as I may have spent way more time holed up in the tent hiding from the wet, but with a high-energy dog, you just can't stay inside for too long. Depression and fatigue can be paralyzing, and I have spent a lot of time on my couch and indoors because of it. It's a vicious cycle because outdoors and movement help my emotional state, but my emotional state can so easily keep me from pursuing the very thing I need in order to help it. Since Beau has come into my life, though, I've had to get up and out more often. He is the best motivator towards a healthy lifestyle that I have at the moment. This weekend was no different. He doesn't care if he gets wet or what's happening outside. He just wants to run and play and have fun with me. I knew all this, but it was here at Lake St. Peter that it really hit home just how good having Beau was for me. Not only does he get me moving, but he makes getting out much more enjoyable than it was when I was just trying to do it alone. It began to downpour around 7:30 while we were playing fetch at the beach, so we ran back to our site and took cover. This is when we found out our tent is not waterproof. And even though it held up to the light rain, it leaked so much with all the heavy rain. I put all that couldn't get wet into the front of the car, and we stayed dry in the back. Luckily, our bed is in the back of the car and not in the tent part. It made for messy cleanup the next morning, but I was grateful that we were set up so that we could stay dry throughout the night. Next day, though, I bought a tarp on the way home. Even though there was a mess happening in the tent, it was cozy cuddling in the car with Beau and listening to the sound of the rain on the roof.